Bills fans, an 8-4 record has the entire fan base buzzing, and for good reason. Buffalo is finally stacking momentum at the right point in the season, but today brought a wave of injury updates that hit hard. Some of it brings clarity. Some of it raises real concern. Either way, these developments matter for the stretch run, and they directly shape the Bills' path through December. Before we get deeper into today's major updates, make sure you're locked in with us. Before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Now, here's the tough part. Tyler Bass, a pillar of this roster for years, officially won't return in 2025. What began as a training camp issue never improved. Months of rehab couldn't fix the hip and pelvic damage that has followed him since August, and surgery was the only choice left. The team hoped he could fight his way back, but the progress simply wasn't there. This isn't a small injury for a kicker. Those muscles drive every ounce of power and accuracy. When that area breaks down, the entire foundation of the position gets shaky. Bass signed a multi-year extension not long ago, but now his future becomes uncertain, and the team has to think long-term. No one knows what version of him will exist when he's finally ready to return, likely in 2026. Buffalo prepared for this moment by turning to veteran Matt Prater, and he's kept the ship steady. Solid accuracy, dependable extra points, and only a single moment this season where things slipped. That stability mattered. But even with that, Prater is 41, and the team still has to think about the next chapter. A younger kicker from free agency, or the draft may become a real consideration this offseason. The contract extension may still be fresh, but Tyler Bass' situation forces Buffalo to rethink everything at the kicker position. His recovery timeline, the surgery, the uncertainty, none of it guarantees he'll reclaim his old form. And that leaves the front office at a crossroads. Stick with the veteran who steadied things this year? Recommit to Bass and hope he rebounds in 2026? Or search for a younger leg who can anchor the unit for years? Every option is on the table, and the team won't take this decision lightly. The focus then shifts to a name every Bills fan has been holding their breath over: Joey Bosa. His arrival transformed this defense the moment he stepped on the field. Impact plays, relentless pressure, and game-changing turnovers. His presence has shaped Buffalo's identity all season. But now a hamstring issue threatens to interrupt that momentum, and the team knows the implications are huge. The concern comes from his history. Bosa has battled injuries before, and soft tissue problems like this are tricky. He went down after a standout stretch, including a strip sack and score, and although the coaching staff isn't revealing much, the tone offers little comfort. When Buffalo quietly brought Andre Jones Jr. back to the practice squad, it spoke louder than any press conference line. So, did the move to add Morgan Fox, a veteran who has produced whenever he's been given consistent snaps? That tells you exactly where the Bills' mindset is. They're preparing for possibility that Bosa might not be ready. And that's no small loss. He's appeared in every game, racked up tackles, logged sacks, forced turnovers, and climbed near the top of league rankings in multiple categories. His pass rush grade alone puts him in elite company. Remove him from the lineup, and the ripple effect is immediate, especially when facing explosive offenses and top-tier quarterbacks. If he can't suit up, Fox becomes the next man in line. He's had seasons with strong sack production and brings enough experience to manage the load, but there's no mistaking the drop-off. Missing Bosa changes the complexion of this defense, and everyone in Buffalo knows it. The Bills walked into this week hoping their injury situation would ease up, and while there are encouraging signs, nothing is locked in yet. Terrell Bernard's elbow issue had him close to landing on injured reserve, but the team held off. That alone suggests progress. If his week continues trending upward, his return could come sooner than expected, a huge lift for the heart of the defense. Spencer Brown remains a question mark with his shoulder problem, and the staff won't know his availability until they see how he handles practice reps. And then there's Dalton Kincaid, whose absence has stretched on far longer than anyone hoped. Until he's back in full teamwork instead of limited appearances, optimism will stay cautious. His skill set changes the shape of Buffalo's passing attack, and the team feels that void every week he's sidelined. The toughest update involves Deion Dawkins, still navigating concussion protocol. Losing a captain at a position as vital as left tackle is never ideal, especially so deep into the season. Ryan Van DeMark and Alec Anderson stepped up admirably in the previous matchup, but with more film available on them now and a tougher opponent ahead, expecting another flawless performance is a tall order. Buffalo needs its anchor back, and the hope is that Dawkins clears the final stages in time. As for the Bengals matchup, the Bills know exactly what this game demands: stability, health, and every available contributor on deck. Their opponent is battered by injuries of its own, but Buffalo's focus remains internal. The priority is simple: get as many key pieces back on the field as possible and hit the week with strength rather than patchwork. Buffalo enters this week knowing one thing for sure: availability will decide how they attack this matchup. While Cincinnati deals with its own pile of injuries, the Bills can only control what happens on their sideline, and that's where the focus stays. The most important storyline is how Buffalo prepares for whatever version of the Bengals offense they face. Whether their opponents are missing starters or fielding backups, the Bills' priority remains the same: dictate the game with their own personnel. If the defense handles its responsibilities, especially in coverage and pressure, Buffalo won't need to rely on who the other team does or doesn't have on the field. That's why the health of the defensive front matters so much. Without Joey Bosa guaranteed for this week, the Bills may have to rely more heavily on Morgan Fox and the rotational rushers behind him. That isn't ideal, but this team has repeatedly shown it can generate pressure by committee when needed. What matters now is maintaining that edge, collapsing pockets, forcing rush throws, and taking control of passing downs the way Buffalo has all year. The same goes for the secondary. Limiting explosive plays has been a priority this season, and with Terrell Bernard trending upward, the communication in the middle of the field should strengthen. His return, whenever arrives, can bring structure back to the linebacker level, something the defense has noticeably missed. On offense, the Bills won't worry about how Cincinnati's injuries shift matchups. Buffalo is preparing as if everyone on the other sideline is playing, and that mindset has kept them sharp through the ups and downs of the season. Protection remains a concern with Deion Dawkins working through concussion protocol and Spencer Brown still battling a shoulder issue. But if either returns to stabilize the line, the offense immediately becomes more dangerous. The theme is simple: stay healthy, stay aggressive, and rely on your own strengths. This week's outcome won't hinge on the availability of players outside Buffalo. It will hinge on how the Bills execute with the roster they have. With the Bengals likely missing key starters, the door opens wider for Buffalo to take control of this matchup. A defense that already ranks near the bottom of the league now heads into the week without its top pass rusher, and that only strengthens the Bills' position. Buffalo's offense has been gaining rhythm at the perfect time, and facing a weakened front only boosts their chances of keeping that momentum rolling. Even if the Bills are forced to rely on Ryan Van DeMark and Alec Anderson again, there's real confidence in what they can provide. Last week showed exactly how this team responds when its quarterback takes a big shot. They regrouped, tightened up, and dominated at the line of scrimmage. That mentality travels. And with Cincinnati lacking the physical edge presence that normally anchors their defense, Buffalo's front has every opportunity to set the tone early. The protection doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be steady enough to let Josh Allen dictate the game. If that happens, the Bills' offense should be able to outpace whatever Cincinnati throws at them, especially with the opponent missing some of its most dangerous pieces. Buffalo has been building something over the past month: chemistry, toughness, and a refusal to let setbacks dictate outcomes. This week is about carrying that forward, trusting the roster, and finishing strong.